What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Should you be spending your hard-earned money investing it into Legendary Duelist Season 2, just getting pallet after pallet of it right behind you? I think there's a lot more of an interesting conversation to this right now, after so much hype has happened from its full set spoiler, but let me remind you where that hype is kind of coming from. Oh boy, there's some unexpected ported reprints in here between Blue Eye's alternative White Dragon finally not in a movie pack, or gosh knows what and how many freaking boxes and Ghost from the Past as a ghost rare, and then Cyber Dragon Nashter being... Wait, these are like $15 to $12 cards before the reprint. What's going to happen here? These aren't actually the craziest cards to end up in here. They're nice for a reprint, but for investing, not so much. Now, I do think there's a lot going for this versus its predecessors, but my short answer is there's better places to squirrel your money away in Yu-Gi-Oh! In general than this set, versus how long you'll probably have to sit on it to go up, and also for your payout. Think of how clunky these boxes are. Also, its MSRP and everything about it. But here's what it's got going for it. Kaiba's on the cover. You never underestimate a product with Kaiba on the cover. Look at the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! And how it's gone, and the actual theme of Blue Eyes, and then Cyber Dragons, Harpies, a lot of fan favorites in here that are good for it, but it's also coming off the heels of several very failed products. Dragons of Legend, the complete series, similar MSRP, same kind of setup, has special dice, and had a pretty thick set as well, actually a little bigger if I recall, except less secret rare, so the chase cards, it's going to be a little harder to get in here, but let's do some quick math versus its MSRP. They're selling 8 Dragons of Legends together at $70. Real quick, that's under $10 a piece shipped to your front doors after fees. They're practically letting it go and trying to take a loss on this still. How much later are we? We're here into 2021 January. This was released all the way back. Okay, yeah, it's not going too good. That's my point. And even further back, all the way in July? This is so crazy to me. Back in July, and this is in a similar boat where people are just get it away, please take it out of my hands, just there's nothing here for me. These are the two predecessors to this. What does that tell you? Vendors ordered a heck of a lot less of this after getting burned not just 1, but 2 times in hopes that the replacement for special editions, which is what these are, they port new cards and help give sneak peek promos and stuff, that's what this is. And I think with this set, it will be far more under-ordered. I even know from talking to some of my sponsors, it's going to be far under-ordered versus the others, and then it has a lot more going for it when we actually look at the set itself versus these two. Now, of course, Legendary Duel Season 3, it'll probably be way over-ordered when it comes, but we'll have even better singles between Magician's Souls, Bane, Gold, like so many other things. But we start off with Blue Eyes White Dragon, not the greatest art. I know not everybody likes this, but interesting to see it get a little port here. And then also Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, Sage, so many cards before we get to the Legendary Duelist cards. And then Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, always a solid single actually to have. What you want to look through here, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon also got ported in here, which is pretty nice. It had a 10 promo that had just gone up over time too. So you have another medium port along with the what we expect here rather than what was a surprise here. Now, coming in, these cards are more so expensive thanks to artificial scarcity. Not too many people ordered Legendary Duelist till it started picking up steam. Then they got ripped open massively for updates to decks that didn't take them to meta levels but were fan favorites. So that's why we see Legendary Duelist Season 1 kind of fall flat on its face. There's not a demand for the now supply of the cards that came out in those or Dragons of Legend. But here, I can see there actually start to be the demand to pick it up. How many times did they sell the movie pack? Like 4, 5 freaking times? There's going to be a demand for Kaiba cards in general, and then they're mixed in with other fan favorites such as Zane, such as Mai. So we get to the Zane cards, Nashter getting in here, Cyber Load the Fusion will actually just go up over time as many Cyber Dragon reprints if they only have 1 reprints tend to do. You get Seeger actually oddly in here as well. Then we get into Blackwings, another fan favorite deck. Full Armor Master, nice to kind of see in here. I don't think it'll get too expensive. Photon Orbital, also kind of cool, and I'm trying to just just say nice to see, nice to see. Abyss Actor's not so nice to see, actually. And then we get to the Harpies. You have Pet Dragon, which is a collectible that almost goes up every single time it's reprinted. You get a lot of the Harpies that have been large lately, and you keep going through. Notice how crazy fan favorite a lot of this stuff is, and you get to the Rose stuff, which has updated support coming, where people will actually want some of these. Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, another good to medium reprint here. Garden Rose Maiden will be extremely wanted, and just you have Frozen Rose, which has seen price spikes a couple times, but is still mediumly priced. Then the Train stuff, which has been also, again, huge fan favorite. You get the theme here. While Legendary Duelist usually panders to fan favorite stuff, this also has had somewhat of a meta impact slash rogue impact before, and then you get the Lunalights at the end. I think with everything in here, the cards inside will actually be somewhat chased for over time, and with getting a new rarity for them, even though it's not the favorite. Oh boy, you can get purple or red, or no, you can't get red. That's 20th anniversary, which will be coming up sometime for the TCG, I suppose, which is why it's not available. I have a small gripe with these sets, and it's that blue and purple are kind of close together, and then you have green, which actually is different, but you have two darker hues. I digress. Anyways, with this set's construction and how it is, the newly ported chase-ish cards from outside the Legendary Duelist, they're nice. They're just not anything that's really up there. They're not anything crazy. It follows the typical reprint. We gave you 3 to 4 nice things that are $20 and under. And that does not sell sets. That does not get people to rip open packs as a nod and thank you. It's just something else that was nice to be there. So the chase purposes are the Kaiba cards, the Train cards, all that kind of stuff, urgent schedule, those cards. And I do think that there is actually enough demand versus the past two, along with the undersupply that will happen here and the underprinting, because let's face it, people have also been burned by other recent Yu-Gi-Oh products. So coming on the heels of 2 failures of the same exact kind of product, and also Phantom Rage and Genesis Impact burning vendors, people kind of stayed away from this one. I think because of that, it will do pretty nicely over time and quicker than people might expect. I also think that you have some hype, overhype. Like, I know I'm trying to calm you down, but there's some overhype going towards it, which will also kind of push it upwards. All these factors combined, it's not the worst buy in the world. I just think there's better places to put your money into Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus this, especially if you plan to sit on it like a mother hen long term. You have to think about opportunity cost, and this is something I remind people on the channel. When you spend money and put it in your closet for X amount of years, think of how many times you could have moved that money. The only reason you should do that is you have so much money and you want to invest in something Yu-Gi-Oh! That you're not constantly flipping your money. You're too busy because of work, real life, or whatever, and you want something Yu-Gi-Oh! To invest in. Or 3, you're lazy and you just don't want to have to move your money, and you're like, this might be it. Those are the only 3 reasons you really should be going for a sealed long-term investment like this, but it does actually have more than I'd like to admit going for it. There's just better places to spend it. Thanks for watching this video. What do you guys actually think? Do you think it's just going to be a banger and kind of skyrocket past expectations? Look at how long these sets have been sitting there and their price. And then, again, I think that helps actually the case for this and how much less of it there will be. Will you be buying Legendary Duelist Season 2 just to crack it open and get a chance at some of these singles despite how thick the set is? I think you get 6 ultra rares per box. Yeah, you get 6 ultras, 1 of 10 secrets this time, which will actually help those be more chased than they were before. So the secret top end cards will get some help here. And then you have the 91 commons in the set, which you get 30 of per pack. The commons will more so be busted in mass, and some of them might be penny stonks. I feel like, though, when you're sitting on sealed, you have to look at what will be atop of your set of singles to help drive the opening, and then see what's left over as sealed. And this actually has a lot more going for it than I would say either of these. I would say definitely, like, Toon Kingdom, oh boy, that didn't necessarily do it over here. And what's really leading Legendary Duelist Season 1? Let's take a peek back in and see how it's going. The Secret Red Eyes Baby Dragon at a whopping $7 ahead of Millennium Eyes Restrict. We see what they have going for them towards the top, and it's definitely not as solid as what I think will be over here, with a lot more things to chase after.